Rahim, and a very good morning to all of you. As you know that I have been making some educational videos basically on subject physics, but some of my students or some of my colleagues they demanded for a video on a topic of classroom management. So therefore today I am going to make a video on classroom management. Before going for the lecture, I would like to request all of you who are new to this channel or who are new to my videos, please subscribe my channel and please share these videos with your friends as well. Okay, as I told you that today I'm going to make a video on classroom management. So if you are a student of education, or if you are a teacher, or if you are a master trainer, so this topic is a very good choice for your presentation, or for a very good choice for your assessment, etc. When we are talking about schooling, before coming to classroom, when we are talking about schooling, so as you know that everything is in this universe, they need some management, they need some appropriate rule. So a classroom also needs some management. And what is a classroom management? So some of my students or colleagues, they are asking this question, that what basically a classroom management. They are saying that we are too good in engaging the students, we are too good in giving them instructions, but they are saying that they are asking a question that what is classroom management. We don't know about classroom management, so this video is going to be very helpful for you. So let's move towards the slides. What is classroom management? Classroom management means all the tools and activities that teachers use to keep the kids focused, on task, engaged, organized, and behaving appropriately during the lesson. This can incorporate everything from your body language to time management strategies to classroom discipline to visual aids and tools like posters and sticker charts. So in a single slide, how can you summarize a classroom management? So from the start, you can say that classroom management means all the tools, all the techniques or activities that as a teacher you are using to keep your kids focused on the lesson, or you are using your kids focus on the task, you are engaging them, you are organizing them during the lesson. So this does not include how you are delivering the lecture. So this includes everything while entering the classroom and up to leaving the classroom. So whether you are there for 40 minutes or 45 minutes, all those activities, all the tools which you are doing there for the benefit of the students, for the benefit of the class, for the benefit of the curriculum, it includes all these things. So when we are talking about different strategies, so strategies means time management strategy, which is very important in classroom management. Classroom discipline, it is also very important when we are talking about the discipline of the teacher, the discipline of the students, overall discipline of the classroom, it is very important. And visual aids is we are living in the 21st century, and we are using the 21st century skills. So ICT integration is included in classroom nowadays. In our daily lessons we are using ICT integration. So how to use the visual aids and how to use the tools, like we are giving the students to make posters or sticker charts. So it includes all these things. When we are talking about the definition of classroom management, so this is the proper definition of a classroom management: the actions teachers take to create an environment that supports and facilitates both academic and social emotional learning of students. So this is the basic definition of classroom management. If we are talking about this definition, so this means that all those actions which a teacher takes to create an environment, and the environment which is supporting and facilitating both the academic and social emotional learning of students. So as a teacher, if you are a teacher and if you're watching this video, so remember one thing, that schooling doesn't mean that we should facilitate or support students regarding their academics, but schooling means to facilitate your students in their social emotional learning as well. So the actions teacher take to create an environment that supports and facilitates both academic and social emotional learning of the student. More definitions I have added here, and the first one here: a set of rules, words and deeds that you, the classroom teacher, use to keep your classroom running smoothly so that you and your students can work, teach and learn safely and efficiently. Next, classroom management is a multifaceted concept encompassing the strategies and techniques used by educators to create and maintain an effective and productive learning environment. So these are two more definitions of a classroom management. You can take a screenshot of this slide and you can note this with yourself. So when we are talking about classroom management, the main question about classroom management is that what does classroom management involves? So classroom management involves these three things: establishing a positive classroom atmosphere, promoting students engagement, and minimizing disruptions to facilitate effective teaching and learning. When we are just when we are unpacking this word classroom management, then you will see that it involves these three components: establishing a positive classroom atmosphere, promoting student engagement, minimizing disruptions to facilitate effective teaching and learning. If we are talking about the components of classroom management, so the first one is how we arrange the classroom, which means the seating arrangement of the classroom. So it is very important, and in this part of the lecture I will cover seating arrangement, and I will make more videos for these four components. Okay, so how we relate to the children and how we manage their behavior, means student behavior. It is also a very important part of classroom management. How we plan and organize our teaching time. It is also important how we are planning for the classroom, or how we are planning for our teaching time, how we are organizing our teaching time. So it is also the main component of a classroom management. How we give instructions, it is very important. As a teacher, you have noticed that some of the students are getting your instructions very quickly, but some of the students they are getting your instructions slowly. So this means that you have to give them a very clear instruction. So giving instruction is also the main component of a classroom management. How we involve students involvement is also very important. And if you are doing all these things inside the classroom effectively, then trust me, your class is going to be the most ideal class of this world. So let us discuss all these things in detail. Okay, so I have got it a line here: learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. And this picture was taken in Susum when I was there 3 years back. So it was I think in the month of March I have taken this picture there. Okay, so let's discuss all the components in detail. As I told you that the first component is seating arrangement, and when we are talking about the seating arrangement, so you all know about the seating arrangement means how we are arranging the chairs and desk inside the classroom for our children. So an instructor can maximize students' engagement by changing the physical setup of chairs, tables, and presentation in the classroom. Instructional communication theory suggests that seating arrangement can impact how the instructors communicate with students and how students interact with one another, impacting engagement, motivation, and focus. So when we are talking about the seating arrangement, it plays a vital role in the classroom, in organizing the classroom, so in giving the instructional communication there. Okay, so more recent research suggests that the setup of the classroom space shapes instructor pedagogy, choice of activities, and on-task student behavior. For example, a classroom with seating affixed and directed towards a podium at the front of the room results in instructors spending more time in lecture and students demonstrating less active engagement. So I have just given an example here of the seating fixed and directed towards a podium in the front of the room, and it results in instructors spending more time in lectures and the students demonstrating less active engagement. In constant round table seating arrangement lead to instructors and students engaging in more active learning activities, resulting in improved learning outcomes. So basically all these sitting fixed and directed toward a podium, and then the second one is round table seating arrangement. So these are the few types of seating arrangement which I am discussing in the next slide. Further studies demonstrate that students prefer more flexible seating arrangement, and in particular students express a preference for classrooms with mobile versus fixed chairs, and trapezoidal tables with chairs on casters versus rectangular tables with immobile chairs. So this is the basic theme of a seating arrangement, why the seating arrangement is important. So in the next slide we will discuss the different types of seating arrangement which involves in our classrooms. Different seating arrangement used in our educational system. So I have collected some classroom seating arrangements here. Now look, here's classroom seating arrangement. One arrangement is this one. The second one is which we are saying as a traditional one, so which we were following when we were students. A round table, so it happens very often in the schools. Horseshoe or semicircle, so it is also a classroom seating arrangement. We have three more here. Just look at this picture. It is a double horseshoe. This is group pods and this is pair pods. Okay, so when we are talking about the seating arrangement inside a classroom, so there are few factors that can influences all these seating arrangements in the classroom. So these factors are, the first one is classroom size. So it can influence the seating arrangement. Classroom size, class size. So class size also influence the seating arrangement. Students' age is also a very common factor among our classrooms. Distractions, for example, the environment or the surrounding of the classroom, the school. Teaching objectives, it is also very important what the teacher is doing in the classroom or what are the teaching objectives. So we have 5 factors which can influence seating arrangement. First one is classroom size, then class size, students' age, distractions, and teaching objectives. So let us move toward the explanation of a different seating arrangement, and the first one is traditional, or which we call as row arrangement as well. So this is the shape. So this can give you some idea about your classroom, that do you just use this arrangement in your classroom or not. So we can ask a question from ourselves that are we using this arrangement. So if we are using, or if you are using this arrangement, so this arrangement is known as traditional or row arrangement. So the traditional lecture setup typically consists of rows of fixed seating. Students face the instructor with their backs to one another. So when we are talking about a traditional lecture setup, so it typically consists of rows of fixed seating. So there are fixed seating in the classroom, and the students are facing the instructor with their backs to one another. So I have discussed few pros and cons of this traditional or row seating arrangement. So the first pros is that it is a teacher centered, means the teacher is the active participant in the class, and it is good for large classes, so suitable for lectures and question and answer session. So these are the pros of traditional arrangement, and the cons are disengaging students. So it has been found that the students they are just disengaging themselves in this setup. So it limits the interaction because the students are sitting in the rows, so there is a very limited interaction between the students. So it is also another thing here is that high voice. So the teacher having a high voice can deliver the lecture very well in this setup, so limits observations, and back seaters are left out. So the teacher cannot facilitate, or he or she cannot go to the back benchers or back seaters. So these are the pros and cons of this traditional setup. Next we have cluster or groups or teams, we can say. So this is also very common in our educational system in Pakistan, that cluster or group. Now just look here, 4 students, they are just making a cluster here, and 4, 4, 4 and 4, and they are just facing toward the teacher. So this is also a seating arrangement which we are using in our educational system. So this setup has certain pros and cons. So learner center, this is just the pros is that it is a learner centered, and it encourages interaction. So there is a huge interaction between the students there, since they are just sitting together in a cluster or in a group. So promotes cooperation, it promotes the cooperation between the students, safe environment and good for shy student. So this setup is a safe environment, it provides a safe environment for the learning and teaching, and it is good for shy students. So if you are a shy student, if you are included in a shy student, then you can go for this cluster or group seating arrangement. Cons, the first one which we are observing or experiencing in our class is off task behavior. So if you are just collecting 4 students together to make a cluster or group, then there will be some off task behavior among the student. For example, during the World Cup matches, they will start discussing about the matches of Pakistan, Australia, all these and their favorite teams. So increased noise level. So if they are going for the off task behavior or activities, so obviously it can increase noise level and less individual accountability. So the students are very less accountable in this setup, and it is hard to assess students' level of understanding. So it is hard for a teacher to assess the students' level of understanding. So more pros and cons related to cluster or group: builds confidence, share knowledge, monitor task, discussion, and unity. So these are very simple things. And for example, monitor task. So it is good to monitor the task of the student. So the cons, the most common which we are experiencing, copy work. So in a group there will be one student who can work effectively or properly, and the remaining three students will copy his or her work. So not work as a group. They are not working here as a group. So they are not listening to the teacher. They are not listening to one another. So it is very hard for the teacher to control this type of classroom. So it is not good for lecture and test. So the previous setup was good for lecture and test, but this one is not good for lecture and test. Then we have U-shape, semicircle, or horseshoe. So this setup has got three names: U-shape, semicircle, and horseshoe. As the name suggests, this seating style is in the shape of the letter U, with the tables and chairs arranged in an open-ended configuration with the audience facing inward. So this type of setup, this style is in the shape of the letter U. So this is the physical appearance, you can say, of U-shape, semicircle, or horseshoe. Just look here. Tables have been fixed here. The students are sitting in a U shape, and the facilitator is here. So this is also a U shaped. The facilitator is just addressing from this direction. So U shape, horse, or semicircle. Just look here. It seems very beautiful when we are looking all these in a picture or on a slide, but it has also certain pros and cons in the classroom. So which are the pros is that it encourages interaction with the entire class, easy for observation, and it control behavior, and easy to hear everyone, and it draw attention. Then we have cons. Shy student may feel threatened, needs more space. Large classes may face problems. So these are the pros and cons of U-shape. So you can take a screenshot of this slide, and you can just note this in your notebook. And then we have pairs arrangement. It is also a very common seating arrangement which we are using inside our classrooms. So the pair arrangement can be done with desks or tables and allows the teacher to move around the room between pairs. Two students can sit at a single trapezoid table if your classroom has tables instead of desks. So alternatively, two desks can be pushed together to create a pair. So this pair arrangement can be done with desks or tables, and it is easy for the teacher, and it allows the teacher to move around the room between the pairs. So if we are talking about the pair arrangement, so this is what the pairs arrangement looks like. Okay, just look here. Pairs, two pairs, two students are sitting here, two students are sitting here, so faced toward the whiteboard here. Okay, so this is the physical shape or appearance of pairs arrangement. So we are following, I think we are following this arrangement in our school the most. So pros, good for controlled conversation and peer learning. And cons, we have off-task talking, difficult in large classes, sitting in small classrooms, and limited interaction with other pairs. For example, if the two students are a good friend and they are sitting together in a pair, so there will be a very limited interaction of these two students with the other students in the classroom. So limited interaction with other pairs. So off task talking is also including here. Okay, so it is difficult in large classes, sitting in small classroom. Then we have grid. So this seating arrangement is especially handy when testing your students or when you want them to work individually. They cannot talk to each other or let their eyes wander on someone else's paper. So this is very good for test. Okay, so this seating arrangement is very handy when you are taking a test. So this is the teacher's desk and the student's desk are arranged in this manner. Okay, so this is the physical appearance of the grid seating arrangement. So this seating arrangement has certain pros and cons. So the first one is that the pros is that it maximizes space utilization, ease of navigation. So it creates very easiness for the navigation inside the classroom. Visibility, so equal access, and it was very suitable during COVID-19. Okay, so these are the pros. And when we are talking about the cons, so lack of interaction. So as here you can just observe that the two students, student 1 and student 2, they cannot interact with each other because there is a quite large space between the two desks or between the two chairs. So limited flexibility and aisle congestion is also there, and no interaction between students. As I told here, lack of interaction means there is no interaction between the students. Okay, so these are the few seating arrangement inside a classroom, and this is the first component of a classroom management. So I'm concluding this lecture here. So today in this lecture I mostly focused on the seating arrangement, and seating arrangement is one of the main part in a teacher's plan for classroom management. The teacher needs to keep in mind the learning outcomes and the nature of the activities. So they have the liberty to change seating arrangements according to their classroom needs. So when we are talking about all these things, some of my colleagues or some of my friends, they are arguing in a case like that the grid is good, U shape is good. So it depends on the context of your classroom size or of your class size. So you can just change the seating arrangement according to your classroom needs. So all these things which we discussed today is the first component of classroom management, and the first component is about the seating arrangement, and we discussed 4 or 5 seating arrangement in this lecture. So in the next part or in the next video I will try my best to complete the topic on classroom management. So we will discuss these 4 in the next video: the students' behavior, planning and organizing our teaching time, and giving clear instruction, effective instructions, and how we are involving our students. So in the next part or in the next video I will try my best to cover all these 4 important components. So I hope this lecture gave you enough knowledge about classroom management and basically about the seating arrangement. So I will see you or I will meet you in the next video. तब तक के लिए अल्लाह।